What's up, guys? We are live. We will be live in 1 minute and 47 seconds, waiting on Revis to tap in with me. We got my man Scott Loeppert from Trova hanging out with us. What's up, Scott?
How you doing?
Hey, man, we're hanging in there, man. So we're going to be talking about Magic Eraser tonight. And we're also going to be talking Temu and Trova. So join us, tell a friend, and also we may have a surprise for you at the end, okay? So, hey, look, we'll be live in 1 minute and 15, 13, 12, 10 seconds. Get your adult beverage, whatever that may be. Scott, what you drinking on? I got my Minute Maid. He's got
I got my water.
All right, so you got your adult beverages ready? Come on, man, let's go. I got my man Jeff Bull in the building. I got Kaive. What? Awesome Wood Things. Hit the spot. Oh my God, we're about to have an awesome show. 45 seconds and we will be live. Y'all stay tuned. Here we go. Ten seconds, y'all. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
He says, I'm ready. What's going on, everybody? Hope all is well with you. It is the Lab Tech Show. My name is Corey Sanders. I go by the name of Tallboy. And here we are here to simplify tech in a language that you understand. I mean, you guys know we do this every week. And at the end of the day, we want you guys to walk away learning something, but then also saying, you know what? I'm more comfortable learning tech, if that makes any sense. Today, we have a guest that is hanging out with us. And this gentleman I met about 3 years ago, I want to say. Unfortunately, we had the pandemic, so a lot of things were shut down. And he has a smart biometric safe that he says, you know what? You can keep all your personal belongings safe. I think he's based out of Denver, Colorado. So he's going to be able to tell us all about Denver, that snowstorm that they got going on, and some of the other things that he's involved in as well. But we have the CEO of Trova hanging out with us tonight. And without further ado, let me bring him in. His name is Scott Loeppert. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, Tallboy.
Man, that's what's up, man. So tell people real briefly who you are and tell us briefly what Trova is. Just briefly.
Sure. Well, yeah, my wife and I co-founded the brand Trova, and what we are is smart biometric safes that aim to solve the problem of why most people don't have safes, or if they do have safes, they don't ever use them because they're stuffed in a basement closet. So we created a new category.
Okay. All right. That's a simplified way of putting it, right?
That's right. You said quick.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, that's what's up. So I have a question for everybody in the chat. We're gonna try some new technology because last week we tried to do it and it did not work. But just definitely want to see where everybody is checking in from. So I see my man Trevor Nichols. He said he was first. And let me see if I can get both of us on the screen, Scott. Sorry about that. There you go. There we go. He says he was first. And let's see. Did it come in? Okay, apparently it's not popping in. Oh, there it is. He says, I'm the first one. What y'all gonna do about it? LOL. We got Hit the Spot saying, hey, hey, hey. So if you can put in the comments where you guys are checking in from, I definitely would appreciate it. Kaiv, hey, welcome to the show, Kaiv. Definitely appreciate you joining in. Rich Vibes is coming in from the UK. We also got Jeff Bull coming out of California. And who else? We got Awesome Wood Things checking in from, let's see, I think he's in Boston or Massachusetts somewhere. And let's see, do I see anybody else? And I see Tech Troublemaker, my guy. He's checking in. So please put in the map where you guys are checking in from. And we're testing out some software today. It's called StreamAlive. And if you put in where you're from, it will tell us exactly where you're checking in from. So right now, let's see, who do we have on the map? We have, let's see, Sheila Baker checking in from Kissimmee, Florida. And I don't know who number 3 is. It's not telling me. Let's see, who is this person? It's not letting me know. I don't know. Well, we'll have to figure that out a little bit later on. But I also have my man Revis on the phone. Revis, are you around?
I'm here, but I don't hear myself.
Well,
There we go.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, there you go. We're going to come back and see where everybody's checking in from. But right now, this is what we want to do to get Revis checking in so we can do our word of the day. All right. Where is he at? Is that him right there? Nope, that's not him. Our word of the day. Here we go. He's somewhere in the United States, from LA to New York. Where are you, Revis? Don't forget to honk the horn. Revis, our word of the day today is Fresco. I can't make this up. Fresco. I don't know what it is. I'm going to give you a definition, and you're going to break it down for us, all right?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Fresco is, let's see, refers to the art of... Fresco refers to the art of painting on freshly spread moist lime plaster using water-based pigments. It is also the word for a painting executed in this style. Revis, you're a truck driver. I don't understand anything that they're saying. Can you break that down in a language that everyone can understand, please? Fresco.
You know, I really struggled with that word today. You know, sometimes we have easy words, sometimes we have hard words. But I was driving early this morning when it was dark. And I was in Texas at the time. Today I'm in Alabama. So when the day started breaking, I noticed that it was kind of cloudy outside. And when I looked at those clouds, it almost looked like it was a big painting. Those clouds was there. It looks like, man, it's one of the most beautiful things you ever seen in the world. And that's what I relate Fresco to. Fresco is like a medieval painting. Michelangelo did the Sistine Chapel, and that puts you in mind of that picture of what we seen in front of me. It didn't rain, but those clouds almost looked like it was raining. It was right there in my face. So that's about the closest I could get to Fresco. I was riding down the street, down the road, and I seen a fresco right in front of me.
Okay. So the painting or the clouds felt like a fresco of the Sistine Chapel is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. We're going to find a way. We're going to see if we can find a way to use fresco today. Scott, what do you think of the word fresco? Do you think he did a good job on fresco, Scott?
I do think he did a good job on fresco. That's not a word that I understand the meaning of it, but it's not a word that I think I've ever chosen to use in my life.
I agree with you. I don't think you or I have tried to use the word frescoes, but I mean, I think when you go to the museums in Europe, I think that that's one of those where you look up in the ceiling and you see those Michelangelo or those see that artwork up in the ceilings. I think that would be the closest thing to a fresco. So I guess, like he said, the Michelangelo in the clouds today was his fresco. Maybe that's the best way I can get out of it.
Maybe
I think that's good.
Fresco probably wants you to cut your ear off.
Oh,
like Van Gogh.
Shirley P says, watching from Fresco, Los Angeles, home of the sunshine and snow-capped mountains. That's what Shirley says. And in Awesome Wood Things, he says, Al Fresco is content management is a content management system. Just saying. So, hey, we're going to find a way to use that word today. And if not, we're going to just try and find a way to use it this week. Any words that you'd like to say before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I'm just glad everybody's here. And I just posted a link. And so everybody want to click on that later on in the show.
All right, there it is. So we'll talk about that link that Reva shared shortly. But you may want to take advantage of what he is talking about, but we will discuss that a little bit later on, all right? So back to our map real quick. Now I know that this is not true, but I know I typed in, let's see, I got Jeff Bull checking in from Concord, California. Revis, he said he was in Alabama, but it's showing that you're in Baker, Louisiana right now. Or is that what you put in the screen? And then it says Carolina is where PR Carolina is where Tech Troublemaker is. Shirley is in New York, I believe. And I'm not sure where this number 2 is coming from. So we'll see how this works. We'll see how this technology works. All right. We also have our stash stock party of the evening. And let me see if I can get to that real quick. Our stash stock, you have 3 hours and 48 minutes to get, Oracle. So for the ones that are not familiar with stash stock, this is your chance to invest in stock. It's absolutely free. It costs you nothing. All you do is go to stash.com/party. You sign up and you get a piece of incremental stock of tonight's product offering, Oracle. All right. So when that clock hits 0, it runs out. But if you use my code in the link or in the description, you get $20 when you're ready to invest $20. And then when you're ready to say, I want a whole stock of Oracle, you put in some more money, So when you get to like the $5, $10 mark or $20 mark, if you use my code, when you get to the $20 mark, you get another $20 to go with it. But if you would like it absolutely free tonight, it's like a 0.2, 0.25, 0.40, something like that. Piece of stock called Oracle for the evening. All right. So you have till 11:59 to make that happen. And it's absolutely free. OK, doesn't cost you anything. Stash stock is Oracle. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? I don't think I see anything else. Let's see. Free money. Yay. That's what he's saying. Okay, that's what's up. All right, guys. So we got a couple rules to the show. Please comment. Please let us know what you have going on. There is a link that is in the description. Revis, can you repost it? Basically, we want you to participate in the show. And before the show is over with, Scott has something that he would like to bless us with. And one lucky person will be able to get it. And hopefully we'll be able to find a winner before the evening's out. But if not, we'll find a way to get it for next week. We'll figure out and see how it goes the way this show is going. All right. So let's just see how that goes. And let's go jump right into the show. Scott, I got an article here. And I know you got your adult beverage. So whatever that beverage of choice is, feel free to sip on it whenever you're ready. OK. But I got an article here where are you an iOS guy or are you like a team Android guy? Like what kind of guy are you?
I am an Apple phone user. I'm an iOS guy.
Man.
But I do take a lot of photos and I am familiar with the technology that Google's about to bring out. So I use it in some of the other programs that I run on my computer.
Okay. All right. So I want to share this article real briefly. Just give me 1 second as I load it up. I just want to, I got a lot of moving parts behind me, but just bear with me 1 second. But Google is saying that they released the Google Pixel 7, and in the Google Pixel 7, they have a cool feature called Magic Eraser. It was a great commercial that they had throughout the Super Bowl with the Magic Eraser. And this is their opportunity of saying, hey, we want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity, but there's one small catch. And that catch is, let's see. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted. Sorry about that. Magic Eraser is coming to older Pixel phones and Google One starting today. All right. So this is how the article reads, and I would love to get your thoughts and your opinions on this as well, Scott. It says Google is bringing photo features that were once exclusive to recent Pixel phones to more devices. It's called the Magic Eraser. It's a tool that can easily remove unwanted people or objects from an image. It was released 2 years ago in 2021 when the Pixel 6 debuted it. And it also has a feature called camouflage, which you can use to change the colors of objects to make them blend in with the rest of the images and help other elements stand out. So they're saying it's already rolled out, the Magic Eraser to Pixel 5 and earlier models. And the same goes for Google One. So if you have a Google One account in the coming weeks, members on all plans will have access to this Magic Eraser through Google Photos. So if you use Google Photos and you have a Google One account, you will have access. So can you imagine taking pictures, somebody photobombed your photo, or you broke up with somebody and you don't want them no longer in your shot? You can literally highlight that person, that object, press the button, and it will literally magically erase everything. All Pixel models and Google One subscribers will also gain access to an HDR effect that can be applied to videos to boost the brightness and contrast. And the feature was already available for still images, but now those older Pixel devices and or a One membership will gain access to more styles in the Google Photos collage editor starting now. All right. Now they're saying that this is no surprise that Google is bringing the Magic Eraser and other photo features to One and older Pixel devices. But it often debuts new tools on its latest phones before introducing them elsewhere. So basically, I have the Pixel 7, and because I have the Pixel 7, I already had this, and I thought this was one of the coolest things that made the Google Pixel stand out above the Samsung Galaxy, against the OnePlus, even against the iPhone. Now, I know a lot of you guys that are in the iOS department, I know you guys are like, hey, man, our phone is better. It has better security functions and all of that. But, I mean, we pay for phones for what? For photos, for video. So we had this Magic Eraser. So if I took a picture and I didn't want you in it, I could literally circle or highlight and you would be gone. And it worked well while I was out at CES, where there were some people walking in the background of the CES sign. And I was able to highlight them, and they were able to be magically, poof, vanish. Scott, what are your thoughts on this? Yeah. What are your thoughts on this, Scott?
Well, I mean, I think from a technology perspective, it's a really cool feature that Google is debuting, a couple years ago. The amount of AI that's going into photo editing over the last couple of years is pretty astounding. I take a lot of photos, and it used to all be about composition and making sure that you were taking a photo of the subject that you wanted without any of the extra background and everything else. You could spend lots of time sort of staging photos so that you didn't have the wrong people in there. And now you go into any of the editing programs, including what's on your phone, and you can take a photo that isn't perfectly staged in a couple of seconds and then just fix it later. And that probably makes photography a lot more accessible for more people. It makes the output probably higher quality. So from a pure photography perspective, I think it's great technology. From a takedown of technology perspective, I take my photographer's hat off and I sort of put on the hat of Google debuted this in their premium phone. It was probably a selling feature. The commercials were certainly inspiring. I'm always inspired when I see, high quality marketing. Something we always strive to at Trova is to create, inspiration in our advertising and our marketing, and it's not easy to do. It's a tricky thing. And so I remember when those ads came out, and I thought, man, that would actually be pretty handy. I think it's probably a key feature for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And probably a differentiation point to your point of why you thought it made the phone, a step ahead of the competition. It probably is a strong differentiation point for a lot of people that want to take photos. On top of that, what I would say is having them then take it down the technology range and make it accessible to more people. Certainly accessibility today is a huge theme across all parts of business. And, making things more accessible to more people is probably one of the things that will endear, Google and maybe some other brands to lots of consumers. So I think it's probably a sound strategy to get that technology in more places, and especially if it's a differentiator between their product and some other product, that it probably helps them build their business.
Yeah. Magic Eraser looks cool. Hats off to Google is what Shirley P says. Let's see. I'll pay for extra storage on Google Drive. Oh, excuse me. He says, if you pay for extra storage on Google Drive. So here was the funny thing. Hit the spot 1006 and we were in Europe for Thanksgiving, and I ran out of storage. And so I had the $2.99 a month tier, and I literally had to upgrade to 200 gigs as opposed to the 100 gigs. I think it was $199. Now I'm paying $2.99. I forgot the actual price point, but I was getting very frustrated because now I don't have that external SD card that came with my LG V60. One of the features that iOS has done to a lot of us and said, oh, you don't need it. And you really say, how do I condense the storage? Well, now Google Pixel has done the same thing that iOS and a lot of other Android phones are doing now by removing that external storage. So I had to go upgrade my storage. So knowing that I had to pay that extra $2.99, even though I have the Google Pixel, all phones now moving forward, they're gonna no longer have that external storage. So I mean, I think that that's something that you just have to just look at it and say, am I willing to pay $199, $299, $999 for the respectable amount of storage? So I think that that's I don't know if I'm ready for Google to announce and release this to all phones when this was that selling feature. But I think it's cool knowing that if you have it, it's available, if that makes sense.
I think that makes sense, yeah.
He said, I think that makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah, I like I said, at the end of the day, if I'm already paying for it and this is what you sold it to me as, I just feel like you should have kept that to me or gave that to me as that exclusive. Make it exclusive. I mean, I get it that you want to put it in all your Google phones, but I mean, I still think that I should have had that option to have it for at least a good year before you start giving it out to everybody else.
But when did it come out? It came out in 21, right?
No. Magic Eraser came out this year with the Google Pixel 7.
Oh, it just came out in this year.
Yeah,
they probably could have waited a little bit longer. Think about technology. Sometimes it moves so fast. It's maybe it didn't need to move that fast.
Yeah, I like I said, it's let's see. I like I said, I just think it's one of those things that you gotta give me time to at least play with it. I mean, the Google Pixel 8 is not even out yet, and you already have taken over. I mean, you're already giving this feature out to all phones that are on the Google product line. But then now you're saying all phones, even Apple, and saying, hey, we're gonna play nice with all parties. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if it's a good situation. I just, that's just what I think.
I'm sure they thought about it before they made that decision to some degree.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got some sound reasoning.
And maybe it's make more people aware of what's going on. So because of that could be that option. You never know. Make more people aware of it. And I think maybe it was a good hit. Maybe it was a big hit, shall I say, for the Super Bowl commercial. I thought that was one of the best Super Bowl commercials that were out that I had seen in a while. So I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, it's available now if you have a Google One phone. That's a Google One subscription. So if you use Google Photos at all and you ran out of storage and you had to pay for it, it's now available. So hopefully that will help you in your editing skills per se. And I think let's see, somebody said hit the spot 1006 says you better not be erasing me. So can you imagine 5 years, 10 years later, you're no longer dating that person or you're no longer married, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't want her in my or him in my photos. Then here's Mama D saying, girl, he's not, or we'll beat him down. LOL. Oh my God. So TV, unfortunately, for some music artists, it won't erase the post. Excuse me, it won't erase the past. My mind's telling me no. Oh my God. This guy, Rich Biden. I have a Google Drive, so it will work with my Google Photos, period. A few people I like to use the magic eraser on says says Revis. Okay, I can't be mad at that. Tech Troublemaker says I have 5 terabytes of storage. Let's see. As my family and I save to Google Photos. Okay, and Revis says R. Kelly could have used it. Yeah, he could have. So, okay, the jokes are coming in on the R. Kelly. All right.
You already know.
Hit the spot says Apple would have copied it anyway. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Apple would have copied this, or you think the patent was already there that they could not have done it?
Well, I mean, the truth is that Google's copying it from Adobe. So, this masking technology has been out in Photoshop and for years. So it isn't a new technology. I doubt that anything is patented, to be honest with you, on it, because it isn't new. They just adapted it to their platform and figured out how to do it with minimal user input.
Gotcha. Now Tech Troublemaker says, now I can erase my daughter's ex-boyfriends. Okay. All right. No judging here. All right. No judging. That's all we're going to say. We got another article here before we tap into what you're doing. It's called, and I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not, but there's a new, and I've been seeing postings on Facebook, and I've been seeing stuff in my Google ads. And even though I don't like Google ads, I keep hearing about this thing called Temu. I hope I'm saying it right. What is it? Have you heard about it, Scott? Do you know what it is?
I had not heard about it until you shared this with me earlier today.
All right. So there's a new app out called Temu. And you guys probably will start hearing or seeing ads on this relatively soon. And I want to be able to share this with you and let you know what it is. So they've been doing a huge marketing push this year called the Temu app. It's starting to pick up some solid momentum that's driven many shoppers to want to check it out. And as a new marketplace, as new marketplaces start to make their way into the mainstream, however, there's a lot of oh my God, I can't even say the word. Skepticism. Thank you so much for helping me out. Oh, what they say? Yeah. Oh, hell no. Say it again. What's the word?
Skepticism.
All right. So although it's always a good impulse to be cautious, because I was kind of worried about clicking on this as well and putting out sensitive information into any app, we're going to discuss what Temu is. All right. So if you see it, at least we'll know what it is, so it does not go over your head and you're like, I don't know if this is good for me or it's not. All right. So what is it? All right. So if you see that logo, it is an online shopping app like Amazon. So I would say Amazon is starting to get some competition now. And they claim to host the best deals you can find online. All right. So if you like shopping on Amazon, you may want to see what kind of deals you're going to get over here. You never know. We might be able to see some of Trova products over here maybe in the near future. So
we don't sell at discount very often.
with more than 250 different categories to choose from, it functions as a well encompassing shopping app as opposed to one for specific interests. Temu claims to be unique, however, by having lower prices than those found at other online sellers. And they're also saying that with non-discounted items, the items sold at full price are the very least sold at similar, if not the same price as they are on sites like Amazon, Target, or Walmart. All right. So giving you a heads up, it is an app that's comparable to Amazon, all right, or any other online retailer that you would probably go to. I can't think of another one, Offer Up or something like that, but I think Amazon would be the closest thing to say that that's its comparison. They say frequent sales and multi-week deals are common on the app, and it means it's worth taking a look there first before buying anything online to see if you can get what you're looking for a little cheaper. So do a little price comparison and see if you get $5 off, $2 off, or maybe $20. You never know. And not all major brands are selling on Temu yet, and it's still up and coming marketplace. So we're breaking the news here first because no one's never heard of it and no one's not really talking about it. And there's still plenty of big brands that are already selling there as they claim, okay? And let's see, what else do they say here? It says, is the app legit? They're saying it's been a fair amount of skepticism aimed at Temu, which is completely natural. And anytime an app deals with sensitive information like your credit card, your home address, it's good to have, just have some thoughts about it. However, the legitimacy are easily put to rest. Even though it's a new app, it's backed by PDD Holdings, which is a multi-billion-dollar company that has many years of global commerce experience. So in other words, yes, it's a legit app. All right. No, it's not a scam. There it is right there, PDD Holdings. So if you guys are familiar with that, anyone that's in the business sector, you guys are pretty much familiar with that. And then quite naturally, no, it's not a scam. So I'm just putting it right here in the fine print. There seems to be some amount of unfounded fear towards the company, since the other major company that Temu's parent company, PDD Holdings, owns is Pinduoduo, and it's basically a Chinese-based agriculture company. However, there's plenty of evidence to show that both PDD Holdings Incorporated and Pinduoduo are legitimate companies and that there's nothing to be suspicious of. So right now, I'm only saying this. I believe honestly that I believe honestly that when it's something is new, we've never heard of it or anything like that, we're going to always be a little skeptical of it. So, but I think as it does more advertising, you start seeing them doing more ads on your phone or on commercials, you'll probably see it a little bit more. It's no different from when Netflix first started out back in 2005, 2006. And then now look at where Netflix is now. It's a household name. But in the beginning, it was like, hey, mail off your DVD and we'll send you one, and it's a free DVD and you can keep it as long as you want. People were skeptical of that, because everyone knew what Blockbuster was in the beginning. But as time led on, we had other competitors such as Redbox. We had, the Blockbusters were going out of sale. And then Netflix became that household name. And look at where Netflix is. So, I mean, now this is Amazon's true competition. And the question is, can they stand the test of time? So you can download the app, or you can also you can go to their website. So you can go to Temu.com, and it's also available in iOS and in Android. So it's available in all platforms. And that's pretty much it. Your thoughts on this, Scott? What you think?
I mean, I feel like I should give a little bit of a disclaimer before I say anything, which is that I'm a contrarian by nature, which means that I'm critical of most things. And I probably have a little bit more of a critical position on this one than you do, Tallboy. So, here's here's my first thought. My first thought is, if you're the parent company, PDD Holdings, I don't know why this is a business you try to get into unless you have literally billions of dollars to try to waste to get some slice of the American market share. Amazon is a giant business. Walmart is a giant business. Target is a giant business. Walmart and Target have been able to put any meaningful dent into Amazon's dominance in the U.S. marketplace from a consumer perspective in the last 5 years of trying to build their own marketplaces. Once the consumer is at the place that the consumer is at with Amazon, where they trust it, they go to it as a research tool, and a price tool. It started as price, and now it's research and price. It's a community of people giving reviews on products and things like that. It's really, really hard to change the consumer's direction or the consumer's mind. Now, the point of difference looking at their website that is interesting about Temu is that essentially it's a marketplace for China direct product. So product being manufactured at a factory in China, sort of bypassing the brand and the retailer in the middle and just putting the product on a marketplace in the US. If you know anything about manufacturing, there's lots of things that are sold on Amazon today that follow that same model that undercut the branded version of it. And some consumers, when you look at the swath of consumers out there, some of consumers will go to the lowest common denominator and find a like product for less money. But a large number of consumers in the United States will prioritize, brand or the known trusted entity over something unknown and untrusted. So I think that they've got a heavy lift, to be honest with you. Whether or not they're trusted from a data perspective is a whole nother discussion. Obviously, you look at TikTok, for example, they're coming underneath a lot of fire today. They're banned on government phones. There's a bill that went through today to ban them out of this country in general because of privacy law and data security breaches and things like that. That's going to continue to happen, I think, with anything that is a Chinese-based app. Now, I don't know if this is a Chinese-based app or not, but looking at the one-page website they have, I think it might be. So I think they got a heavy lift. I think it's interesting that they're spending some money to see if they can attract some consumers and get some traction. But my guess is that they're going to spend a lot of money to capture a few consumers, and that the majority of the consumers here in the United States are going to stay on the platforms they trust.
Okay. We got some comments here. We got Shirley is saying Amazon Prime free shipping. You do not get your stuff right away from Temu. That's right, Sister Queen. I already know. I'll stick with Amazon. I heard about it, looked it up. Reviews are not great. A lot of people are saying their items never arrived. Interesting. It has been down. It has been down all my timeline. Now, thanks everyone for the update. So, and that's what this show is all about. It's literally all about just making us more aware of what's going on and letting us know what is out there. So that way you have an idea of what, if you've seen it, hey, here's a question. What is it? What is it all about? What does it do? Let's see. That's right. Lisa Maria, no updates on when the merchandise ships or the processes. I've seen it, but I don't trust it either. Okay. So this is all good feedback. The ones who are saying this, have you, okay, there, I've already used that comment there. Have you shopped on it, or is this all on just the reviews that you have said that you've seen? I'm always suspicious of ridiculously low prices for anything, and I'm not in the dollar store. Just saying. Okay, that's fair. My daughter has not gotten her stuff yet, says Sister Queen. Interesting. And Mama D's got jokes. Okay, we do not want to fustigate Mama D. We do not want to do that, okay? Tall boy, a minute ago, you couldn't say the word, and now you're using it real good. China Direct, that's why it's slow in the receive merchandise. Tenure just wants to get into the Amazon game. Temu just wants to get into the Amazon game. Gut luck, but I'm not going for it. Shirley says, right on, Scott. So I love Scott's response, says Rebus. I ordered something from them back in December, and I still haven't gotten it. It always says awaiting shipment. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So that's kind of where we are with that. And let me see, did that go right there? That one. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, Scott, I mean, that's what's going on with Temu. I think it's still probably in its early phases. And with it being in its early phases, I think a lot of people are not gonna I don't think people are going to want to do this. I think that, until it has some better recommendations, I think that people are just going to probably just let it pass by. And I know that Hit the Spot 1006 tried to do something for Christmas, and it never arrived. So she had to go in a different direction. So I know that that was very frustrating, especially when you think that you've secured something and it's not there.
That is frustrating.
Yeah.
We've on our side, we've had some delays on delivering our product too, and it's a constant disappointment when I've got to tell somebody that their product's not going to ship just yet. So hopefully getting over that hump next week.
Okay. So here's Shirley. I've shopped them. They never replied on where my order was, but they debit my card ASAP. So yeah, people are saying that they're about to request their money back and all that other good stuff. So interesting comments and feedback. All right, so our previous article, it was, what did you think of the Magic Eraser? Put in the comments, what did you think? We would love to see your feedback. What did you think of the Magic Eraser comment? And we'll come back to it momentarily and see what we have. Stand by, Scott. I got something. Hey, everybody, follow us on the Lab Tech Show on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Come on, man. We're creating content, man. I mean, we got CEOs, we got marketing directors, we got great products. We even got folks from CES that are talking tech with us, and we're all simplifying and learning in a language that you understand. So will you join us? Come on, man. All you got to do is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and just tap in at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to talk tech. That's it. Talking tech. It's not going over your head, y'all. We're breaking it down, and we're all discussing. Will you join us? It's the Lab Tech Show. All right, real briefly before we get into what you're doing, Scott, I got a few promos that I want to run. Matt Haas was in the building earlier, and he says what's going on with him. Weekdays, 8:15 in the morning. He's got about a 20-minute segment where he talks about any and everything about what's going on in his life, whether it's woodworking, whether it's guitar lessons, whether it's stuff that's going on at his job. I think that you might be interested. Some of the stuff goes over my head, but you know what, Matt? It's what's going on with him, all right? Then we got my man Rich Vibes. He's over there every Sunday, all right, 2 p.m. Eastern. He is going live. He's our resident DJ, all right? When you can't come to party, the party comes to you. It's Sunday Night Live with Rich Vibes. So if you're on the West Coast, it's 11 a.m. Go to mixcloud.com, search Rich Vibes, all right? Jeff Bull was here earlier, and he's got something called Star Wars, and it's called the Kessel Chat. He loves his Star Wars. He just came back from Amsterdam, and he found a way to tie in Star Wars with Amsterdam. I don't know how he did it, but hey, it is what it is. He is doing his thing, all right? So make sure you guys check out those shows, and also want you to check out the Lab Tech Show. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific. We're simplifying tech in a language that you can understand. All right, let's see. Do we have any results that came in? I don't know. Did we get anything? I don't think anything has come in yet. So we'll come back to that question shortly. Scott, you have a video, man. Let me see if I can get us both back on the screen. You have a video that that you want to that I'm going to share about what Trova is. So it's a short video, and then after that, we're going to discuss
30-second commercial.
Well, yeah, 30 seconds.
It might be, yeah.
Okay. All right, Scott. There you go. 30. So you ready for prime time, man? Well, so here, this is what I want to do. There's a link. Can somebody repost that link? If you look in the description of the video, if you're on your tablet or if you're on your phone, if you look in the description, there's a form that we asked you to fill out. It's at the top part of the description. Fill out that form because after we play this video, Scott is going to tell us all about his products, and we're going to find a way to give one of those away of what he's gonna share with us, but you have to fill out the form, okay? So it's not, oh, you just have to comment. You have to fill out the form, all right? If you don't fill out the form, you just can't be registered to win, all right? So, and then we'll find a way to give it away either before the show ends or at the top of the show next week, just depending on what our time is looking like, all right? Is that fair, Scott?
That sounds fair to me.
All right, so let me run this video real quick. And don't forget.
Should I give a setup for the video?
I got it already lined up. So I'm still waiting on our magic eraser. So I don't know if you got to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still waiting on the comments. Let us know what you think of the magic eraser. Remember, we are testing this out live in the show. So we're waiting to see if there's any feedback on that. And then after the video, we'll come back to Scott and he'll tell us all about what Trova is. All right. So without further ado, I give you Trova.
This is Trova, a biometric smart safe, beautiful enough to keep in plain sight and secure enough to store valuables, like this. Or things that aren't valuable but still need to be hidden. And if you have nothing to hide, here are some suggestions.
Chloe, we can't show this in an ad.
What about these?
Absolutely not.
I can't show them.
Trova, because you gotta have something to hide.
I went all the way to Germany for this one.
Okay, so we're showing our adult toys. Thank God that this is a adult show.
There's no adult toys there.
Yeah, adult toys.
It's an allegory.
So you can do so this is a smart safe, and basically with this smart safe, no one can get in it but you because it has some type of biometric data. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connected to your phone at all times, and so you open it through an app on your phone, and pretty straightforward. Sorry, one of my dogs is asking me about dinner right now, so they're gonna be bothering me for a second. Anyways, yeah, so you access it through the app on your phone, and a couple other ways to access it. If you don't want to use your phone, there's a way that you can set a passcode to the power button and use like a Morse code and things like that. But generally speaking, the biometrics are all leveraged by the app in your phone.
Okay.
Really, we're a little bit different than a traditional safe, and we didn't set out to replace the traditional safe. We set out to, like I said earlier, solve the problem of why most people don't use the safes that they do have, and most people just don't have safes, period. And what we believe is the reason for that is a couple of things. One, the safe was created 50 plus years ago and just hasn't evolved to meet modern people's needs. If you think about what typically has gone into a safe, think about a last will and a testament or something like that. Well, those are all stored in the cloud today. They don't need to be printed and put into a safe in your basement, or extremely valuable things. I think everybody sort of knows that even a 1,000-pound safe in your basement, a good thief can get into in less than a minute. So what we aimed to do was sort of replace dumb and ugly old safes with modern and well-designed and intended to then meet the use cases that people need safes for today, which are different than they were 50 years ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You got some comments here. They say, have the dog open Trova for his food.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Cute ad.
She's not that smart.
I'm gonna buy one of these just for that commercial. So that's what you're getting
Great.
right now. So I'm loving that. So I guess the question is, how big is it? Because you have different sizes, right? And so
Yep.
with it being different sizes, like what will it hold?
Yeah, so we intentionally designed the biggest size, which is what was shown there in the commercial, to be, sit next to your bed or sit in your bathroom or sit on a kitchen counter or something like that. So this isn't a safe that is big enough to fit everything you need to put in there. It really is for daily use items or things that you want to exercise discretion around that are not necessarily appropriate for all audiences. So from a size perspective, I can actually meant to grab it before I sat down here at my desk. So I'll have to run over there and grab it here in a second. But the Trova Home is about the size of a shoebox. It's 14 inches by 7 inches by 5 inches. It's got some internal USBs in it. So you can keep all your, whatever you want to put inside there fully charged up at all times. If you think about a traditional safe that lives in your basement, oftentimes they're much bigger. That's also why people don't use them, because they're so big and unwieldy that they have to be put in places that they don't intrude on your life. And again, we're all about usability. And so the first thing we focused on was how do we remove all of the friction that exists for consumers between actually using a safe in private space in their home. And the thing that we found when we talked to consumers was that, the old safes are hard to get into. You got to remember codes or keys or things like that. So we went to an app-based, system that's on your phone that is frictionless. People always have a phone on them, basically. And the second thing they said is that I would never put that safe that needs to be in my closet in the spaces in my house that I really need it to be, because it doesn't, fit in the living room, either size-wise or from a decor perspective. So we spent a bunch of time on design to design something that's seamlessly integrated into interior design versus, focusing on metal that lives in the basement. So.
Okay. Do you guys have any question? Here's a question here. What's the construction materials?
Yeah, so it's made out of aluminum primarily on the outside, and then there's a plastic, nylon reinforced plastic injection molded material that is the inside of the Trova. So the outside is all metal, and then the inside is plastic.
And then another question is it fireproof?
This version is not fireproof. We will probably bring a fireproof version as a take up from a cost perspective version. But again, the things that are going in here, because it's about things you want access to regularly and on a daily basis, certainly about a third of our customers are going to use it for jewelry and valuables, but probably not the valuables that belong in a safe deposit box at a bank. Family heirlooms and things like that you're not wearing every day wouldn't really belong in here. Here are the watch that you're wearing every day that you're running to the gym, you don't want to wear the watch, you're going to leave it in your Trova Home. You have smart notifications on your phone if anybody touches your safe or tries to access it, and so you always know exactly what's going on with it at all times. Thieves also know where to go find the safe in the house. It's typically in the basement, or it's typically in the closet, or sometimes it'll be in wall safes behind pictures and things like that. But those systems don't particularly that well because they're all easy to break into. So one of our better security features is just the notion of security in plain sight. It doesn't particularly look like a safe, and that was intentional. So it'll likely be overlooked, we think. And that's what we've seen so far with the Trova Go and Go Plus that we have out in the marketplace. And while you're showing that, I'm going to grab the Trova Home so we can get a size on it.
So this is the actual Trova Go that I have. This is one of the first generation models. You see how small it really is. I think I can put my watch, I can put my money, my ID, some jewelry in here, and it's great for on the go. So like if you're going to a concert, if you're traveling and you don't want your valuables, if you're going through security checkpoint, you can just have it all in here. I would hope that would be a great use case that you could use this for. Or if you're at the Airbnb
Absolutely.
or if you're at the hotel, you have this. And remember, no one can get in it. I'm pretty sure if you take a knife or if you, put some type of real force behind it, I think that, it will probably break. I don't know what's that safety part of it, Scott. So you have to let us know how how safe is it if somebody tries to actually break into it. You have to discuss that. But I mean, this is what I'm,
Sure.
This is what I see. So that was the Trova Go that I showed, and then he actually has the Trova Home on his on his screen now.
Yeah, so quite a bit bigger. It's got 2 internal USBs for charging, like I mentioned earlier. It's got some smart internal organization through here. Nice soft touch material as well. So put jewelry in there, it's not going to get scratched up or anything. Has this little external extra tray that can sit in here on the top shelf and slide side to side, so you can get a bit more storage capacity out of it. Okay. Yeah, so quite a bit of internal capacity on this. It also is a battery bank, so you can charge your even if it's not plugged into the wall, you can charge your devices.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna open it up on my phone, and I did this last week. I want to say I showed the video last week of how it actually works, and I was hoping that I did not forget my password last week live on the show when I did it. But basically, you can use your fingerprint, or you can use a PIN code. Is that correct?
A passcode. Yeah. So the app will either leverage the biometrics that are based into your phone. So if you got a fingerprint or Face ID, it'll leverage that to verify your identity, or you can set a passcode. I actually had somebody the other day bring up an interesting point. It was a customer email that I got. I still answer all the emails that we get, and his point was that, or his or her point was that somebody might know his passcode to get into his phone. And if they know the passcode to get into the phone, then they could change his biometrics to match them. And then they could get into the Trova. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Like, why wouldn't you just change the passcode on your phone? And I thought, well, maybe this is like a minor and his parents know the passcode on his phone, and he's trying to figure out if he can get a little bit of private space out of having a Trova. And so we have the passcode as a backup for those types of situations, because, you know, in that situation, technically, if it's his parents or something like that, they could get into his phone, reset their biometrics to their face, and then get into the Trova when it verifies their identity. So if he set a passcode that's unique to him, then they would never be able to do that. So that's why we have the redundant system in there. You can choose really, really simply between the two, which one you want to use, either biometrics or passcode.
You got a couple more questions here. They say, what if the thief takes the Trova away? Can they even open it?
Yeah, so let me clarify the fireproof thing too, just real quickly on that. Nothing is actually fireproof. Like, everything has a melting point at some point. So it's sort of like the phrase waterproof. There's levels of fireproof. Because we're made of aluminum, our melting point is probably lower than a 3-inch thick steel safe would be. It is lower. I shouldn't say probably lower. It is much lower. When we come out with our fireproof safe, it will have a fire retardant rating, like many other safes that are in the same category as ours. And essentially we'll accomplish that by changing the injection molded material on the inside. The metal on the outside would still melt, but the plastic would retard for longer. So what was the second question then? That just came across. Oh, if somebody runs off with it. So Trova Home, it can be bolted down to any surface. So there's 2 bolt holes on the inside. You can take and bolt it into the countertop or the dresser side table that you're putting it on, and keep it a little more secure that way. Could it be broken off of that? Certainly all bolts eventually can be ripped out if you try hard enough. So somebody could run off with it. Once they've run off with it, the first thing to know is that you're going to get instant notifications the second that somebody tries to, tamper with it at all. We've got sensors for everything. So it's got a sensor for motion. It's got a sensor for temperature and humidity. It's got a sensor for vibration. So it's got a sensor for when it's been opened, closed, or accessed by one of the other authorized users. So the first thing is you're going to know immediately that somebody is trying to get into your Trova Home. Maybe that means you can get home before they're going to run off with it or something like that, or actually get into it. Or maybe you've got somebody nearby you can alert and say, hey, somebody's in my house right now. I don't know who it is because my house alarm didn't go off. Can you go sure that it's around with my Trova? So the first thing is knowledge is power. You know that you've got somebody messing with your stuff. And they're violating your privacy fundamentally. A lot of times people are using this product to protect things from people they know versus people they don't know. So, could be roommates, could be kids, could be people that work in your home. come over for service or something like that. You need to get your water heater fixed, and maybe there's some things you just want to make sure are out of sight. Great use case for that. So if they get their hands on it and they run off with it, how long is it going to take them to break into it? Again, everything can be broken into. The $10,000, $1,000 safe that you put in your basement, but most people don't buy or use, can be broken into in roughly 60 seconds by any decent thief. I think that will probably last a little bit less than 60 seconds against a trained thief, but we're probably in the same class. If they really want it, they're going to get it. Again, the goal here is some privacy and some peace of mind, because you've got smart notifications and things like that.
Here's another question. Let's see. Does it have some type of tracking system?
We did not build a GPS into Trova Go or Trova Home for a couple of reasons. And we don't think that it's all that applicable. Today, we've got thousands of Trova Go's out in the marketplace, and knock on wood, we have not had a single customer tell me that they've had one taken. So that's a good sign that our design direction that we took with all of our product is keeping our notion of something being hidden in plain sight working. Meaning Trova Go and Go Plus are really designed to look like a battery pack. So if you have them with you, most people aren't going to assume there's something inside of it. And in fact, the only people that know there's something inside of it is the person who put something inside of it in the first place. Same is a little bit true for Trova Home, although it does look a little bit more like a lockbox. It still is something that's going to be overlooked. So we didn't build in GPS for that reason. Number one. Number two, GPS burns a ton of battery, and on Trova Go you'd have to charge your Trova Go daily if you had a GPS system in it. And the second thing you'd have to do is you'd have to sign up for a subscription service for GPS, which means you're paying an ongoing subscription service for a feature that we don't know was necessary. So essentially, the tact we took as founders and entrepreneurs was, let's get our view on product into the market. Let's see how it's resonating with people. And then let's ask them if they would find it more valuable if it had GPS. And today, we've not heard any of our existing customers say, I would like it better if it had.
Right.
And we do have an app-based survey where we are asking our customers for their feedback. And today, we've got a very high NPS score from our customers. That's Net Promoter Score. Brands will brag about a Net Promoter Score on a scale of 1 to 10 in the high 6s or low 7s. We're in the mid 8s on our NPS score, so we know we've got very happy customers with the product that we've given them so far, and that they're finding it very useful. Again, one of our biggest differentiation points between us and a traditional safe is how usable we are. The fact that it's accessible, that you can leave it on your desk. And it'll look nice on your desk versus putting it in a closet or something like that. Just makes our product much more usable than what you typically find from most folks out there.
You also got Scott. Is the larger one big enough for a small handgun?
It is, and that is a question we get quite often. You can fit handguns in there. We are not marketing to that space, and we're not designing to that space. Having said that, we know that people are going to use it for that. But I want to answer the question of why we are not designing for that space or marketing to that space first. There are lots of solutions out there on the market that answer that particular marketplace. There's probably 10 different brands that are just specializing in handgun safes. One of the things that they typically have is redundant systems, which we have. But they will also put a key code, on the device itself, or they'll put a manual key lock on it, and they'll also put a fingerprint reader, and they'll have an app. And it's all about, if one fails, you can get into it. Secondly, because with a handgun, it could actually be life or death. We just don't want to be that solution. We're going to let the people that are experts in life or death situations be the experts in that situation. We created redundant systems, more for convenience for our customers, again, focused on usability. So you can tap to open with your phone or with a hotel room key once we start placing these in hotels and things like that through the NFC system. A lot of the gun safe manufacturers will use like a wristband that you can then swap past the NFC patch to get it to open quicker. we will start selling that wristband later. But again, it's just for convenience more than it is for life or death situations. So we're just going to kind of create our own space, I think, and our own reason to exist versus try to address an existing market that has a lot of players in it, and that typically sort of create the safes that I wouldn't really ever want to have sitting on my bedside table. So
you got some questions over here, man. I'm actually impressed, man. People are actually interested. Scott, do you know if homeowners insurance gives discounts on having a Trova in home?
That's a great question. I do not have the answer to that. I should look into that. I don't know. I sort of doubt it, but maybe.
Shirley. So someone also asked about air tags. Can you put an air tag in it? And boom,
Yep.
done, haha. That was Matt
Yep.
Haas. Awesome Wood Things. Let me see. I'm about to drop $500 for a safe at Costco for a big one, says Shirley. And she's also saying, so, I mean, I don't think she was expecting this to happen tonight, but I mean, just right on time that you're talking about this. And then there was another question, or I have elder clients. She's saying I have elder clients who needs what is it? Who needs to keep meds and jewelry when caregivers are in their home. So that would be
Exactly.
the use case for that. Also
Yep.
for the ones that are we laugh all the time when we do our interviews because we say for certain states you can have certain products, and this is where you can keep that medicinal marijuana hidden from the family members or from folks that would
Yep.
never know, and it could be in plain sight, but it's still hidden.
Yep.
And that would be a great use case if that is what you do. I'm pretty sure they'll smell it, but they won't be able to get to it, if that makes sense. So
Yeah. Yeah, Trova Home, actually, we built a rubber seal into it with a fairly tight, locking mechanism that tightens up as it closes, for that sort of conceal the odor nature of legal marijuana. And we do find that.
Hold up. So you're saying that there's a airtight seal that will prevent the smell from the medicinal marijuana
It'll help. It'll help conceal. It's not going to completely conceal. To get airtight, you actually have to have something that screws on and has a bunch of threads on it. And obviously, this doesn't screw on. But what we have is a rubber seal all the way around, and then a raised lip that pushes against that rubber seal. And then we built locks that actually cam closed. So when you go to close your Trova, you're going to hear the locks engage, and then they actually suck the lid into a tighter position. So it's about as airtight as you can get without starting to screw it shut, or without having an external latch on the outside that would manually force it down even more. So we've tested it. It works well to help conceal. If a kid knows what it is, or a roommate knows what it is, like, they're going to know what's in there. But again, hopefully they're not going to be able to have access to it. That's why we built the temperature and humidity sensor as well, for the folks that really want to monitor the condition of their product that's in there. And really that falls into the use cases that we call our wellness use cases. So whether or not it's adult bedroom toys, whether or not it's psilocybin, which is now legal in my state as well as in Florida, or whether or not it's the marijuana use case. There's just a bunch of things in modern life that exist in many, many households, right? More than half of the country is in favor of legalizing marijuana at this point, including more than 50% of Republicans. And so that's a reality that you've got liquor in your home. You're probably going to have some marijuana in your home too. And that's only going to be something that grows over the next few years. Well, where do you put it? Sort of stashing it in a drawer and hoping it doesn't get discovered either by kids in your home or your in-laws or friends that come over that you don't want to let know that's something that you are a fan of. This gives you a great discreet way to keep all of those wellness essentials kind of out of the wrong eyes. And about a third of our customers use it for that. About a third of our customers use it for traditional jewelry and valuables, a third for these wellness essentials, and then the last third is split evenly between tech timeout really digital detox and things like that. So again, if you've got kids and you're tired of them sitting on their phones, you just take it and lock it in the Trova. You can actually set a timer for when the Trova unlocks in the app, so you can lock your own phone in there too. And the Trova will unlock in 60 minutes or 90 minutes or 8 hours, whatever you want it to be. And then the final use case is prescription medications, like somebody already mentioned. A lot of them are sensitive. And everybody says lock up your prescription medications, but there is no solution that does that in a way that you'd want to have living on your counter. So we solve that problem too.
Revis is saying, sounds like a merger with Tao. Have you thought about that? Chipolo was out there. They were probably a few hundred yards away from you at CES. That could have been a great partnership. Not to say that it's still not doable, but Chipolo, they were literally on the same floor, just a few yards away from you, and say, hey, how do we do this merger with what we're doing? And that could be some type of partnership, or you can do it with AirTags or with Tao. So I only say Chipolo because they were at CES and they were in the same area as you. Let's see,
I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek on the new product that we'll deliver for CES 2024, which will be our redesigned Go Plus and Trova Go. So they will both have Apple's Find My system built into it, which is essentially the Tile system or the Apple's AirTag system. It'll just be built into our chip.
Wow. So. Okay. You got a couple more responses, and guys, don't forget to fill out that form that's either in the description. There's a few people who have access to that link. Please share that link inside of the description so people can click on it, or you can go on your phone and click on the link that's in the comments, or look at the top part of the description so you can get your chance at winning, because once we finish, we will go ahead and try and do a spin the wheel. And that way, everybody who filled out the form, they'll get a chance at winning, okay? So if you don't fill out the form, unfortunately, even though you commented today, you don't get to win, all right? So that's just what it is. I'm being fair. So this is a great way of tracking it, and then I don't have to say, well, you were here for 5 minutes and you left. So if you're not here, it is what it is. Let's get back to some of these comments, Scott. Let's see. Can it store launch? Oh my God! Awesome wood things. Oh my God! Can it store launch codes and intercontinental ballistic missiles? Oh wait, I said too much. Forget I said that. Yeah, he said missiles. Just kidding. Oh my God.
We do have a number of customers that use it for their cryptocurrency keys. So similar to what he's talking about, but a little bit different.
Interesting. Got to look at price. So what do these go for? That's a great question. What's the price point on this?
Yeah, we're definitely a premium product using premium materials. So Trova Home, our flagship product, is a $550 retail. Trova Go Plus is a $250 retail, and Trova Go is a $200 retail.
All right, let's see. Great product. Done it. Let's see. Do you ship internationally? Because Rich Vibes is in the UK. So do you ship internationally?
Yep, we do. Trova Home is in pre-order still today. We will start air shipping in our first units for the long list of pre-orders we have. We've got a number of customers that have been very patient. I'm very thankful for their understanding as we bring this product to market, and we'll start air shipping those at the end of next week. So we're realistically probably another 4 weeks out from being able to have all of our pre-orders filled, and then we'll be on a very limited sort of production availability for probably another 4 to 6 weeks after that.
You got Awesome Wood Things that's saying NFC. I heard that tech is easily hackable. Not sure if that's true. Well, what's your thoughts on NFC technology?
So it can be, but in our situation, for somebody to hack our NFC code from app to our device, they would literally have to be next to you. So NFC's got a fairly small range to it. NFC has to be within an inch probably for it to actually trigger the Trova to open. So, and every time you trigger the Trova to open with the NFC code from the app, it's a specific code. So they would literally have to be next to that NFC transmission from app to Trova to pick up the NFC and put it into a hackable system to duplicate it later. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think that, yes, is it something that can be done, but is it practically going to be done? I don't know a situation that you wouldn't already be put under duress where somebody would be able to get that. And at that point, they would probably have better ways to get in it than to spend the time doing that. They could probably just force you to get into it for them.
Gotcha. Okay. Everyone's saying great product. That you've already discussed price. James Hicks, you're right. It would be great for my other job. Revis is now getting into the cannabis space. He had his opportunity last week to talk about how they will actually ship it to you, as opposed to you just going to one of the legalized stores in one of the respective cities that you can get it in. So Shirley says, LOL, Puff Puff Trova.
There's our next campaign.
See, there you go. Hey, you never know. Hey, Shirley, make sure you give Shirley credit for it, okay? So,
I will.
Outside of that, that's it. I mean, basically, it's a safe, and it protects your belongings. It's great for the Go. And I said I was going to show how to do this on the app. So real briefly, let me see if I can get it on the screen, myself on the screen by itself. And so I have the app open. Well, I did. But I have the app on the screen. There it is. I put my PIN code in, and once I put my PIN code in, it searches for the Trova. And it's funny because the battery life is pretty long because I have not charged this in, I want to say, months. And I'm like at 45%.
It might be dead.
No. I'm at 45%.
Oh, still going.
Yeah, I'm at 45%, believe it or not. So all I do is, because I put in my PIN, there is a lock right here. And then when I hit that lock, I'm charging it now, so maybe that's probably why it's at 45%. But this is the lock, and then this is it. This is the Trova Go, and I hit the lock, and it made a little small click, and that's it. So I can put my medicine inside of this case. Now, do you sell these separately? Or?
We do, actually. Yeah, we call that our sidecar, and they are sold separately for $20.
Okay. And then you can put your money, you can put your jewelry, your ID at the top part, and then down here at the bottom. So you can see about how big this actually is on the inside. So this is something that women, you can put this in your purse, and whatever is valuable, you can have that there. And then he's already talked about the security and the safety functionalities. I mean, quite naturally, if it's obvious, people are going to take it. But I mean, you would think that, something like this, no, it would be inconspicuous. Why would I want something like this? What's in there? So I don't know. So that's just my thoughts on it. Lisa Maria says, great product. I want one. Everybody wants a Trova. So
that's what we hope.
So so how long have you been on market? Been in the market?
Good question. So we launched Trova Go at CES 2020, right before the pandemic started. Okay. And we had intended to, we launched the brand actually at that point. We had intended to bring Trova Home to market that year, and then the pandemic hit, and we obviously had to slow some things down. So, and we're just bringing it to market now. So we literally have customers that bought Trova Go's in 2020, Trova Homes in 2020 that are just getting them now. Not proud of that, but it's been the reality of, capital constraints and development timelines in Asia. But I feel very confident that we're going to deliver a very high quality product that meets everybody's expectations. So we feel good about that. So yeah, we've been on the market since 2020, and we're just bringing our flagship to market now this year. And we've been growing, rapidly. We've got a very high rate of repeat customer that buys more than one unit from us, and a lot of very loyal folks. So we're very grateful, very thankful for everybody that's discovered our brand so far.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Trova. That's Scott. He was at CES, had an opportunity to hang out with them this year. And was it the year before? Was it 2 years, or was it the virtual session? I'm not sure how. I think
that we first met at the virtual session, which would have been 2021.
Right. The virtual session. Right.
Yeah. And then I think we crossed paths at 21 as well. I'm sorry, 22 as well, which was at I think we met in person at the PepCon show.
Correct. And then we bumped into each other this year, and I had found some video of where I walked up on you, and you, before you even turned around, you knew my voice. So I have to share that video with you, man. It says, can you walk through TSA without opening? That's a great question, because I'm thinking about traveling, and I was thinking about taking that with me.
I travel with mine a bunch, and it more or less just looks like a block of aluminum on the X-ray. If you put something in there that is dangerous, like a metal knife, you're going to have to open it. And legally, what we say to everybody is whatever you put in there has to adhere to local laws. What I can anecdotally tell you is that I've only ever had to open it once, and it was in Canada. And I've probably traveled with it, I don't know, internationally hundreds of times. And nationally hundreds of times. So, don't put anything dangerous in it. If you put something dangerous in it, they're going to want you to open it. If you put some personal use, jewelry or recreational, whatever else in there, I doubt that you're going to have any issues.
Okay. So we have, let's put this giveaway in here. So real briefly, I'm going to put this on the bottom of the screen. And I tried to use you said you would do 20% off. Talk about the product offerings that you're doing on your website.
Yeah, so everything that we make today is available on our website. Like I said, Trova Home is still in pre-order status, but I did create a code for Tallboy and all of his listeners, and it's really easy to remember. It's Tallboy.
Is it all caps?
Doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It can be all no. It's all Tallboy, one word, and it can be lowercase, it can be uppercase. It'll go through either way. It's 20% off anything on the site through next Friday. Essentially what we have for sale on the site is our Trova Go leather sleeve that comes with it, is for sale. That's what we're going to give away tonight, is a Trova Go and a leather sleeve, any color you want. And our Trova Go Plus is for sale. Our sidecar is for sale. And then our 2 Trova Home colors are for sale as well.
Okay. Thanks, Scott and Tallboy, for answering my questions. No, this is what this is all about. We want you to walk away being more familiar with what's going on, and at the end of the day, we want you to, you're a consumer, that's the way I look at it, and he has a product that he's trying to sell, and what we want is for everyone to be more knowledgeable, because quite naturally, if you see it in the store, would you actually go pick it up and look at it, or would you say, I'm gonna go Google it? But then when you have the founder or the CEO right here with the company on the show, you can ask all the questions that you want, and then now that secures your opportunity or makes you feel more comfortable. And then I have Scott's information to where if you have a problem, you can reach out to me and I can just shoot him an email, and then we go from there. That's the purpose of this show, to bring more, tech leaders to the show to say, hey, you have a product that fits within our demographic, and no matter how small the price or how big the price is, if it fits our use case, the goal is to be able to make or allow people to want to take part or partake in purchasing. That's what the goal is at the end of the day. That's what I would like for you to have as a takeaway of this show, if that makes sense. So I hope that we were able to do that for you, Scott, to get in front of customers and let the customers see what your product is, and go from there. I hope that we did a good job.
I appreciate all the questions. Absolutely.
So we have our wheel of names, and let's see if I can get that on the screen. So there we go. We got some names of all the people who registered. So the time is now closed. So if you did register now, you've lost out. So you can use Tallboy 20% off on trovaofficial.com to see their product offerings. But these are the ones that are in the running for tonight's product giveaway. And it's a Trova Go and a sleeve. Is it the Go or the sleeve color of their choice?
Both.
Oh,
yeah,
so
both are color
whichever
choice.
one you want. All right, so whichever one you want. All right, so good luck to all of you, and let's find us a winner. All right, and look, guys, we haven't done a giveaway in a long time, and Sammy was not here tonight. So Sammy is not going to win. So it is what it is. Click the spin. And what do we have? Our lucky winner is the Shirley, the one that's been asking all the questions.
That seems appropriate then.
Yeah, that she's been asking all the questions. So guess what? You were about to go out and buy you a safe, and guess what? You've been blessed with a Trova Go and a Trova sleeve. So it makes sense, and it's only fitting that Shirley gets one. So Shirley, shoot me your information, your email address. What else do you need? And then I can pass over to you, Scott. And
color choice and shipping address.
All right, so go to the website, shipping address, email, and I'll forward it over to Scott, and that's how we will handle that. So that's pretty much it. Let me see. Is there anybody else in here? Any other comments that I have? I know we went over a little bit over an hour. Shirley is like, wow, cool. And it feels good to see a woman actually win, because all the men were winning in the beginning. So it's been about a year now since we've done it's been a year now since we've done a giveaway. So I'm happy to see Shirley win. Congratulations are coming in order. And it's only fitting. Shirley does support the show faithfully. And I love to see when people who support the show, not just on a one-off and just come in and say hello, but just they actually support. And I love the fact that she came out and she won. So don't forget you can visit TrovaOfficial.com to see the product offerings. Use code Tallboy. You have till next Friday. Next Friday's date is what? Next Friday's date is...
It's the 10th.
So you have the 10th to get 20% off. So if you guys are interested, feel free to go get yours. And lastly, before we get up out of here, give me 1 second. Hey guys, download the channel. I promise you new content is coming up. We will definitely put this show on Roku. If you have a Fire Stick or a Roku or an Amazon Fire TV, check out the channel TBE Media. All right. So you cut the cord. I got weekly episodes. We got some content that needs to be put on there, and it will be up there this week. All right. So giving you something to check out. TBE Media. It's absolutely free. It costs you nothing. Will you download the channel? Look forward to seeing you over there on TBE Media. All right, guys. I could not get the StreamAlive thing to work. I know I tried to have you guys put 1, 2, 3, or 4 on what your thoughts of were the Magic Eraser. So we will try this a little bit later, another week, and see if it works. If not, then we just probably won't use it. But it's a great engaging app, and that's what they say. But we tested it live in the show, so we had some success, and we had a little bit of failure. So we'll see what we think of StreamAlive, but it's supposed to be an interaction website. Fresco was our word of the day. We did not use Fresco. I have a question for you. Can we have any type of fresco inside of the Trovas for one of the newer products?
Let's see. Going back to the definition of fresco, we would be able to paint the inside of fresco when the paint was not all the way dry yet. I don't know about that, but you could paint the inside if you wanted to put a layer of paint on top of the soft touch material. You could do that.
There you go. So maybe that could be an exclusive edition. Maybe it could be a lab tech show edition or something like that, with some fresco of the clouds of of the logo or something of the lab tech show. You never know. So, or maybe something of Denver, or maybe something of Denver, or maybe some collegiate artwork or something like that with Colorado State, knowing that Dion is up in Boulder. So you never know.
CU, yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, guys. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. We will have another guest next week. I look forward to seeing you guys as well. Sorry the show went over a little bit over an hour, but we had some great questions and we wanted to keep the engagement going. Don't forget to stop over at TrovaOfficial.com to see the product offerings that Scott has. Scott, any parting words before we get up out of here?
I just appreciate everybody's questions and time, and thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. Hopefully you use that word Fresco sometime this week as well. And you'll thank Revis for his great analogy. And outside of that, we have some surprises that will be coming up over the next couple of weeks. I told you some new technology was going to be rolling out, and we will be discussing that. I forgot to share this with you guys. Our show is about to end, and Team No Sleep, James Hicks, will be live literally in 3 minutes over at the at Team No Sleep, where it's the social impact of sports. So if you guys are still up, hang out with James Hicks and Montel Allen as they talk sports, and it's not your average sports show. All right. So they are talking about controversial topics, and they make it worth your while, and it's a very engaging conversation. All right. So I think it's a conversation that needs to be had, and support them if you can. With that being said, it is we talked. Let me do a quick recap before we get up out of here. We discussed, give me 1 second here. We discussed the Magic Eraser coming to all phones if you have a Google One account and a Pixel phone. We discussed Temu. What is it? Is it worth it? And then we also discussed Trova. So if you guys found any of that helpful, feel free to share it with a friend, and timestamps will be placed within 72 to 96 hours after this show airs, okay? So look forward to seeing you guys. Share the replay with a friend or two, and let them know, hey, you got to start learning this tech. So put 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But I think this conversation did not go over anybody's head that was here tonight. So if you guys liked it, please tell 2 or 3 of your friends, and let's continue to build a community, all right? Until next week, I look forward to seeing you guys. You guys enjoy the week. And Shirley, congratulations once again. It is the Lab Tech Show.
You already know.
Scott, give me 1 second.